Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 44 of the Quarantine Irish Tunes. I'm very happy to be here. Oh, may the 4th be with you. I'm going to start out with something I haven't done any of in 44 days, which is to do some music from Brittany, on the northwest coast of France, where there's a Celtic tradition that dates back hundreds of years. And I'm going to do a couple of marches. They're called milk soup marches. And in traditional Breton culture, the wedding night of a bride and groom, there was kind of a fertility ritual where the neighbors would bring the milk soup in their marriage bed, and these were the marches that got played, probably on pipes or other instruments. So, two Breton milk soup marches. All right, a couple of milk soup marches from the Celtic region of France called Brittany. I've never been there, but it looks beautiful, and I'd love to experience the music and culture that is still preserved there. Brittany is most closely connected to Wales and Cornwall in terms of their Gaelic Celtic culture. Similarly, that Manx and Irish Gaelic and Scots Gaelic are kind of the other three connected. Next, I'm going to do a song that I learned from Planxty, a very well-known band that first recorded in the early 70s. I believe this was off their third album. It was something about a well. Now I can't remember. And on this one, Johnny Moynihan, known as Ringo McDonough, the Boron player. They let the Boron player sing. Maybe they called him Ringo because he was the drummer in the band. That's probably it. Okay, so, all right. Long story, but I won't tell it. When I was in Galway in 1983, I actually stayed at Johnny Ringo Madonna's house, and right in old part of Galway. It was a wonderful stay. He wasn't actually there. I never got to meet him. His girlfriend was there, and there was a bunch of other people crashing. They had an extra room, and friend of a friend kind of thing. That's how it is in Ireland. So, all right. The song I'm going to do is it's called P Stands for Paddy, I Suppose, and it's kind of a convoluted love song, I guess, of some kind. It's got a great melody and a great chorus. I hope you will join me on the chorus. The chorus goes, P stands for Paddy, I suppose, J for my love John, and W stands for false Willie-O, but Johnny is the fairest man. So that happens several times. P stands for Paddy, I suppose, J for my love John, W stands for false Willie-O, but Johnny is the fairest man. Oh, Johnny is the fairest man, my dear. Johnny is the fairest man, and I don't care what anybody says, but Johnny is the fairest man. As I rode out upon a May morning to take a pleasant walk, oh, I sat myself down beside a stone wall to hear two lovers talk. For to hear what they might say, my dear, to hear what they might say, so that I might know a little more about love before I go away. Here we go. P stands for Paddy, I suppose, J for my love John, and W stands for false Willie-O, but Johnny is the fairest man. Well, it's come and sit beside me, love, together on the green. It's a long 3/4 of a year or more since together we have been. Since together we have been, my dear. Together we have been. It's a long 3/4 of a year or more per year since together we have been. P stands for Paddy, I suppose, J for my love John, and a W stands for false Willie-O, but Johnny is the fairest man. Well, I'll not sit by you, love, now or at any other time, for you're in love with another pretty girl. Your heart's no longer mine. Oh, your heart's no longer mine, my love. Your heart's no longer mine. It's a short 3/4 of a year or more, and your heart's no longer mine. Oh, P stands for Paddy, I suppose, J for my love John, and a W stands for false Willie-O, but Johnny is the fairest man. Well, I'll go climb a high tree and rob that wild bird's nest, and get back I'll come and give a little thought to the girl that I love best. To the girl that I love best, my dear, the girl that I love best. And I'll go back, I'll come and give a little thought to the girl that I love best. P stands for Paddy, I suppose, J for my love John, and W stands for false Willie-O, but Johnny is the fairest man. Johnny is the fairest man, my dear. Johnny is the fairest man. And now I know a little more about love before I travel on. Ah, such a sweet song. All right, so today I decided to honor some of the one of the Irish literary greats. So I'm wearing a shirt. Unfortunately, it's backwards because Facebook seems to have a glitch where if I reverse the screen, it will turn green, and it's horrible. So hopefully that'll be fixed by tomorrow. This is 2 days in a row we've had to be backwards. So James Joyce, it looks like his eye patch is on his left eye, but it's probably showing up on his right eye for you. So James Joyce, one of the four Irish people to win the Nobel Prize for Literature. I already did a day where I dedicated it to Samuel Beckett and wore the shirt that I also got from David Isaacson down in Chicago when it was my 55th birthday over at the Broken Monroe, and we celebrated Irish culture, music, history, food, etc. So the other two, William Butler Yeats, I've done a song of his already, and George Bernard Shaw. Now, the British kind of argue about that because he spent most of his life in England, but he was Irish, so. In fact, for the party, I came up with a quiz, a literary quiz, and I believe, let's see, for Shaw, the quote I used was, there are only two tragedies in life. One is losing your heart's desire, the other is gaining it. I always think it's Oscar Wilde, but that one was Shaw. And let's see, from Yeats, I had How Can We Know the Dancer from the Dance? And from, let's see, from Joyce, I had this one, When I Die, Dublin will be written in my heart. And of course, he wrote Ulysses, one of the most amazing novels in the English language. All takes place in one day, and it's celebrated every year in June 16th, I believe, in Dublin, is Bloom's Day, to celebrate the main character, Leopold Bloom. At my party, I was fortunate to have Anna Purnell read the last part of Ulysses, which is a monologue by Nora Barnacle. Wonderful passage. And I have a little poem I'm going to share in a moment too, but I'll do that after I do this next song. So just want to give a shout out to the Irish literary greats, and today thinking about James Joyce. I remember I was in college when I read A Portrait of an Artist as a young man. I never made it through Ulysses. My friend David, who gave me the shirt, did though, so hey. This is a tune that I really like. It is a reel, and it has a funny name. It's usually known as the Guns of the Magnificent Seven. And I understand there's kind of two reasons for that. It's pretty recently composed, I believe about 1986, by a fellow in Ireland named Fintan McManus. So it's also often called Fintan McManus's reel. But apparently, the story I've heard is that he was sitting watching late night TV one time, and the old Western Guns of the Magnificent Seven came on. And he was making up this tune, and so that's where he got the name. And also, it's a very twisted tune because in the third part, it actually skips a beat. So instead of 8 beats for 2 measures, it only has 7. So I think there's kind of 2 reasons it has this name. So, and it's really fun to play. And there's a great recording of one of my favorite bands, Alton, with Mairead Nwini playing this. So, and it's one of Sandy's favorites too. The Guns of the Magnificent Seven. What a great reel. Played by Alton. Written by Fintan McManus. So, as I said, I wanted to honor James Joyce today, and I found a poem, or part of a poem. It's from Chamber Music, which is, I think, a longer work, and it looks like it's the beginning of it. The first 3 stanzas. Goes like this, from James Joyce. Strings in the earth and air make music sweet. Strings by the river where the willows meet. There's music along the river, for love wanders there. Pale flowers on his mantle, dark leaves on his hair. All softly playing, with head to the music bent, and fingers straying upon an instrument. From Chamber Music by James Joyce. All right, I have another song. But before I do that, I want to mention that not only is it May the 4th be with you, but unfortunately it's the 50th anniversary of a tragic event in American history, of course, the Kent State shootings. And I just want to remember, too, that often forgotten is the fact that 11 days later at historically black college of Jackson State in Mississippi, there was another shooting where 2 students died, and often gets forgotten, I think, because of racism and other reasons. So, all right. So this next song is very schmaltzy. It's Irish American. It was written in 1876 by a fellow named Thomas Westendorf down in Indiana. It had nothing to do with Ireland. In fact, he wrote it for his wife, and her name was not even Kathleen, which is the name of this song. Her name was Jenny, but it just didn't fit the song. So this is called I'll Take You Home Again, Kathleen, a very old kind of parlor song. It's popular amongst the Irish tenors. You can find Bing Crosby singing it. You can find Elvis singing it. It's just been around forever. I learned it back in 1982 before I'd ever gone to Ireland. I was working at a restaurant, the Brookside, up in northern Wisconsin. And I was a cook there, but I managed to get a gig on the weekends playing my fiddle for the folks. And there was a hostess there, an older woman whose name was Kathleen. And I learned this for her. And I got in big trouble, though, because the day, it was her birthday or something, and the day I sang it for, it was one of the days I was in the kitchen, and so I was, kind of in mucky clothes and a apron and, tennis shoes, and she was out in the dining room celebrating her birthday or whatever, and I go out and I sing it to her, and my boss just reamed me out. He's like, "What are you doing in the dining room with your apron on and your messy clothes?" So it was like, but whatever. So this is for all the Kathleens out there. I know Kathy Liska is probably listening, so here we go. Very schmaltzy, very fun. I'm going to play it first and then sing it. So. I'll take you home again, Kathleen, across the ocean wild and wide, to where your heart has ever been, since first you were my bonny bride. The roses all have left your cheeks, I've watched them fade away and die. Your voice is sad whene'er you speak, and tears bedim your loving eyes. But I will take you back, Kathleen, to where your heart will feel no pain. And when the fields are fresh and green, I'll take you to your home again, my dear Kathleen. All right, that's my interpretation of an Irish tenor. Or Bing Crosby, who knows what. All right. It's been a fun day. I have time for one more for day 44. There are going to be some polkas. They're known as the Ballydesmond polkas. Ballydesmond is in Cork. It's in the Slieve Lucra region, between the border between Cork and Kerry in the mountains there. That's where all the great polkas and slides and fun dancing and music comes from. So I've never been there, but I hear it's pretty awesome. So the Ballydesmond polkas, there's usually 3 of them, so I think this is usually called number 2 and number 3. Let's see if there's anything else I have to say about today. Yeah, let's come back tomorrow for day 45. I'm going to keep doing this till next Sunday, to Mother's Day. That'll be day 50, and then I'm going to take a break. So, all right. A couple of polkas for you to end the day. Hope everybody's doing well, and best wishes for life in the quarantine. So. Okay, a couple of polkas to end the day, and Basil came and joined me too, so that was sweet. So, all right, my love to everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care and have a wonderful day.